season alone have a Champions League setback in the week and then that hangover carry on to the weekend in the Premier League. And that could have easily happened today because they were 2-0 up in Paris and lost 4-2.
Yeah. And especially when they went 1-0 down, you know, you could possibly feel the crowd thinking, oh no, here we go again. As I say, a bit frail confidence. But no, they bounced back and they played particularly well. I really enjoyed watching them. I think Chelsea actually made it reasonably easy for them.
In what way?
Well, we'll look at the goals in a little while, but, you know, I'd be quite sceptical unless I've got someone like Saliba or unless I've got someone like Van Dijk at the back.
Or Makelele in front of them.
I'm not sure I'd be leaving Erling Haaland one-on-one to basically manhandle defenders. I mean, he's big enough and strong enough to do that. And I think both the second and the third goals, Chelsea were happy just man-marking all over the place. Manchester City would sit deep in their own half, and all of a sudden it was just Haaland on his own against Chalobah or whoever the centre-half at the time was. And that's just a one-on-one. That's, like, really risky. And as I say, it happens a lot of the time. Arsenal do it, Liverpool do it, but they've got man-mountain centre-halves that have got the speed, got the strength and can do it. As I say, we'll have a look at it in a little while, but I thought Chelsea were a little bit naive at times.
Never happened when there was a Makelele in the team on your watch, of course. But were they a bit unprotected at times, that Chelsea back four today?
Yeah, I think they do a lot of mistakes today defensively. The positions, the way Michael said, Chalobah needs to with the central protect the one-on-one. I think they lose is about their own mistake. They can do better today, I'm sure.
OK, let's get... there's two aspects then to his goal. Let's first of all talk about the City side. They practice it. They know what Ederson can do, and he is the obvious target in this situation.
Yeah, well, they did this a few times within a game from various areas, and I'm not sure what Chalobah's quite doing there, but Haaland reacts quicker and he sees the keeper. And for me, the finish is as cute as it gets. I think it's a perfect, delicate finish, Mo.
It is absolutely great finish, but I said that's what I was touching on before. Everybody locked in, man on man, but then you leave one-on-one at the back. I'm just not sure you can do that unless you've got somebody that's got the physical presence to manage Haaland. He, first of all, bumps Chalobah out the way, and then he sits him on his backside, and then the goalkeeper makes a horrific mistake running out when he doesn't need to. I mean, if he stands on his goal line, that's just... Haaland has to wait and wait and wait for some support off midfielders and all the rest. Goalkeeper just making up your mind. It's absolute poetry. When you're a centre-forward and you see the opposition goalkeeper doing something stupid, making your mind up like that, it's like, oh, thank you. I would never have scored in a million years if you hadn't have just gifted me like that. So really, really poor decision. But as I say, I think Chelsea could have avoided it in the first instance. I'm not sure that going man for man and leaving one-on-one at the back with Haaland is the ideal thing.
So we started the day by talking about the top three clubs. The top three scorers have all scored today. Salah 19, Haaland 18 and Isak 17. It's competitive for the Golden Boot. Standards are high as well because Erling Haaland won it last season with 27. The 2 years you shared the Golden Boot in the Premier League era, Mo Salah would have won it by now, ahead of you.
Yeah, exactly, 18. Yeah, I think these goal scorers at the moment, as I've said before, if you were one goal in every 2 games, you were classed as world class, and now if you don't score one every game, if you're 1 in 2 now, you're just moderate. So, but yeah, it's a great race. 3 top strikers there. I mean, I love Isak. I think he's so silky, so classy. Haaland maybe not got the class of an Isak in his general play, but just a goal-scoring machine. And Mo Salah's been there, seen it, done it, continues to do it. It's going to be a really interesting battle for that.
And I should point out that Chris Sutton, Dion Dublin, our very own, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank and Dwight York were top strikers as well, who you shared the Golden Boot with.
Sharing's caring.
Indeed. Now, the other side of the goal is the Chelsea point of view and the goalkeeper, Claude. What's he thinking here, Robert Sanchez?
I think everything is about communication. When you defend it like this, is a communication. Chalobah, you need to tell him, stay. You need to do one-on-one for not give us the possibility because Haaland is good striker. You see already the goalkeeper give him the space for shooting. Just cross the ball and this is a big mistake.
And as you can see, it's not a statistic that the Chelsea goalkeeper will want to see again in a hurry. Alongside Muric, he's got the most errors leading to goals this season. And when we have a look at all 5 errors, including today, they're different forms of goalkeeping, Sean, as well.
Yeah, they are. I watched him in pre-season when City played against them, and he was making similar errors then, and he does throughout the season, and he did the same bit last season as well. But not all of them ended up, I'd say, in a goal, whereas I'm finding that he's getting punished quite a bit now from the opposing teams. And this one here, Chalobah don't even know he's come for that. I think it's more of a surprise to Chalobah when he looks up and he sees his goalkeeper past the penalty spot. And just like Mo said, Haaland would have been rubbing his hands with that. And as soon as he gets good control over that, he's got basically the whole goal to aim for as long as he gets the height on it.
Is he nearing a point where Enzo Maresca perhaps just needs to take him out of the firing line, or do you continue to play him and back him?
Well, Chelsea have been doing well this season. It's a team game. He has made mistakes, a couple in the last games, but you know they were in the Champions League places before today, and they're only just out of them now. I don't know. It might be a position that he's looking at in the future, thinking maybe I need to change. For now, you know what's behind him, is that good enough? They've chopped and changed their goalkeepers quite a bit at the moment. Arrizabalaга's out on loan at Bournemouth, doing particularly well. So I don't know. It's a tough one to call. It's manager's preference, really. But it might be a position, if they want to win the league, which they obviously do in the future, then that might be a position that they probably think we've got to brush up on in the future.
He was beaten again. Phil Foden scored in 4 consecutive Premier League games for the first time, and he has 7 in 7 games. But Haaland's role in this, Sean?
It's the same thing Mo said. He's isolated again, but the hold-up play is perfect. And Chalobah comes to Warner. I don't think Chalobah needs to, and Phil just runs off the back of him. But the ball round the corner for me is brilliant, and from he gets there, he's away, Mo.
Yeah, as Sean says, it's exactly the same, Steve. Everybody's man for man all over the place. Now, if you're playing against Manchester City, or let's say you are Manchester City, and you know they're going to go man for man, why wouldn't you just put all 10 of your men in your own half and then leave Haaland up front on his own 1v1? It's just the simplest thing in the world. You've got a goalkeeper that can put it on a sixpence, and you just keep pinging it up to Haaland. He either turns and outmuscles his man like he does for the first goal, or he touches the ball and wait for a running pass and flicks it round the goal. 2 identical goals that, as I say, I think it's naive play. And as I say, if I'm Liverpool and I've got Virgil van Dijk, he's as quick as Haaland. He's probably stronger than Haaland. I'm quite happy with it. Saliba, I could probably do the same. But I'm not sure anybody else in the Premier League can afford to just go one-on-one and just let the goalkeeper chip it up to him and say, go on, you two have a battle, see who wins. Haaland's going to win it most of the time. I think it's naive play. Both goals exactly the same.
What do you think?
He's right. He's right. You can't leave Haaland one-on-one. It's impossible. He's a good striker. He's tiger man. He knows exactly when the ball is coming. He knows the teammate. He will take the space. We see the goals they combinate with his teammate. Easy. One-on-one is impossible. On my side, because I see.
Yeah, with our side. As I say, I can only think of 2 centre halves.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Van Dijk and Saliba. I mean, Gabriel is a big, strong guy, but in general, you can't do that against Haaland. That's what he is. That's you're just saying, these are your strengths. We're going to let you play to them. If anything, you sit deep. He hardly has a touch in most games. You know, you can keep Haaland quiet in many games, but when you just that's just giving him what he wants. That's perfect for him. He dreams of situations like that. Why would you do it? Why would you let somebody that's got all that strength utilise it? You actually normally put them onto their weaknesses, so put them onto his right foot, or keep him out the box, or don't let him get a running jump on it. All the things that you think he's good at, well, let's negate them and make him do the things he's not so good at. Chelsea have just let him do what he pleases at the things he's absolutely brilliant at. It's baffling, really.
One man who will be pleased about that, having been 1-0 down, is, of course, the Manchester City boss. Here he is, Pep Guardiola.
Pep, there was a lot in that. Impressive, would you say, given the injuries that you've had, what happened in midweek and the start to this match, the way you've come back and taken all 3 points?
Yeah, it was not the best start, and we were lucky that they couldn't punish us for the 2-0, but after that we recovered emotionally really, really strong. And we make a good performance, especially for the team we are playing. At the end we had more the ball than the last games, and that make us, to have chances to play. And they just 3 points, but of course in the situation that we are, and especially for the game, the final we have next Wednesday, so it was really important.
Kujanov, how is he?
He didn't speak English, so I didn't speak with him. We'll be fine. So understand, come for the first time, didn't make 1 or 2 training sessions. I don't want to push John because come from the injury, because I need him from Wednesday. And he will learn. As much he's aware of what happened, he will learn.
It is an education, isn't it? Football can be brutal as well in those moments. But when you made that substitution, the way that his teammates, the way that support staff, the way that the fans supported him, appreciated the composure that he managed to find once the nerves had settled a bit for him?
No, especially the players, how they were together. That's we talk a lot these days about that, and that was massively important, because in that moment any player can make a mistake, in that terms, and after that you feel alone is even tougher. So, and the fans, I know, the new players always support, and he's so young and come from many years, and he will learn.
And we saw glimpses of Mamouche and what he can do as well, and what positives you can take from that, and what he can take from that, from his debut today.
No, absolutely. Omar, have a tough opponent. James, physicality is strong. And again, so just we'll talk about some images, some never could practice, but he made an incredible movement that the players in the middle could not see him. So I think Gundo and Kova and Bernie, they should be more clever in the movements at the high line than Chelsea had being in contact. But this question of time that the know each other, because at the end we don't know the movements of him or the movements he likes and need time. So, but he plays 75 minutes good, because again he cannot play on Wednesday, and yeah, so it's important for them make a debut and win.
Relief maybe, perhaps for you, because of the manner in which you secured all 3 points as well in the position that you were coming into this match. How big a win is this over Chelsea?
Of course it is. Always is important against Chelsea. And of course we are the situation that we are. But now we are closer than Nottingham. But of course Bournemouth continues with impressive run. So there are a lot of teams in the margin from nothing. But our games at home, so we have today here, we have Newcastle, we have Liverpool, we have Brighton, we have Bournemouth, we have Aston Villa. All the teams that we are fighting for the Champions League, they come here to Etihad, and as much we will be stronger here, we have a chance to qualify.
And last question, I know you don't do business in the January transfer window, and this has been a one exception. Will you strengthen further with the remaining week or so?
I don't know.
You don't know? Would you like to?
I don't know. What I would like is to have my team start this season back. I said many times. So we go to the market, maybe we'll do it in summer, because we have unbelievable problems during 4 or 5 months in the beginning of the season, when more or less the team will be fit in terms of central defenders, holding midfielders. We are not gone to the market, so it's simple. So, and what happened, the club decide. These kind of things always the club cheeky, and the club decide what they have to do.
Pep, thank you.
Watch that space, 9 days of the window still to go. Yeah, contrasting fortunes with the two debutants. But Marmoush, he mentioned that it's going to take time to find out his runs, but I think all 3 of you were very impressed with his movement today.
Yeah, I was very impressed. He looked very sharp. He looked exciting. Obviously, he's coming up against Reece James, who we know on his days is a fantastic fullback. Hard to beat. He tried to go past him. He went past him a few times. And his runs off the ball for me were really nice. The way he just guided in the middle and just kind of drifted in. But like Pep said, they have to build a chemistry between those players on the pitch. And once they get that and they notice his runs, he will get more from them in the game, I think.
And he could have a really great partnership. Kevin De Bruyne, I don't think Kevin De Bruyne is going to stay forever. It might be his last season, but I'd love to see Kevin De Bruyne in that inside right pocket with him making those diagonals they made, that could be a dream partnership for the second half of the season.
Yeah, indeed. He's already got 20 goals for Eintracht Frankfurt this season. The other side of the story is the former City assistant and Chelsea losing manager, Enzo Maresca.
Enzo, was that more frustration after the start you were gifted right at the very beginning of this match?
Yeah, as you said, the game started very well for us, very good. We scored the first one. We could score the second one 2-3 times, 2-3 chances that I think scoring the second one, the game completely changed. Unfortunately, we miss. And then against this team, this kind of players, the game is always open. They can decide the game in any moment. And unfortunately, we finish losing the game.
You say that, but why didn't you push on when you had that period of play just after scoring that first goal, when you were on top and when the mood and there was just a sense of nervousness around the stadium?
Yeah, but I think we were there because after we scored the first one, we could score the second one in 2-3 different moments. So the team was there. Then, unfortunately, the last 5 minutes, the last minutes, we conceded the 1-1. And then second half, I think the second goal changed a little bit the game.
You say the second goal, Erling Haaland's second goal, and Robert Sanchez again. And I know people have been talking about him, and he has had his negativity, the publicity and the criticism of him as well. Is it confidence or just decision making that he's doing that's so wrong?
Well, in this moment, I think it's a bit mixed. Robert, the good thing is that Robert is the first one that he knows that he has to do better.
Yeah, and they didn't have an effort on target in the last 38 minutes of that game. Does it show you that, Claude, they've made good strides this season compared to last season, but they've still got some way to go, Chelsea, in those big moments?
Yeah, I think Chelsea do a good job with all these young boys. They better this year. I think the manager he make a good structure. He understanding the young. He gives them time. He's not pressure anymore on Chelsea for the moment. They can build in a good way. I think they need more 2 years for come back and fighting for Premier League. But I see them playing, enjoy football, and yes, he will progress still 2 years. But I'm happy now because in different Chelsea I see like 2 years ago.